All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. And I'm here this morning because I've had my cell phone. Many people inform me by cell phone. They have called the community with concerns about a certain project called Project Megiddo. Now, before I address this particular area right here, and I'm going to do this video in succession to answer all the accusations that whoever this may be, who are putting out right here. And I'm going to answer, and I'm going to put also my own personal opinions with these things. But I'm going to answer this thing in detail so that many of you out there who may have concerns because you're governed by fear, because of accusations that people may put up on people, unwarranted accusation, unfounded evidence. It's just that what people say, fear does something. It's remarkable and amazing. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and address it for those of you who have concerns and stuff, but it's going to take me a little time, so you're going to have to bear with me. Now, this morning I was informed that I am being watched by the FBI. Well, that's no big deal. They've been watching me ever since who knows how long. I remember when we first started off, when it was no more than maybe 5 or 6 of us, and all we had was a foot stomp and a hand clap in the bottom of the basement at the church. We had 2 FBI agents show up to our particular little church meeting. And you know the reason why they showed up? Because someone was concerned that we were some type of militant group. Now, you know how militant we were, right? We're keeping the commandments. We have Bible studies, and we meet every Sabbath in somebody's home. And of course, we would consider a militant group. Today, they call it a terrorist group. And what's amazing is because the people who accuse us of being a militant group, and what's remarkable and amazing to me is that the FBI, the CIA, and all these other government institutions and stuff, they would actually go and investigate something like this. Now, from my point of view, a militant group would be anyone who attends church on Sunday, anyone who believes that Christmas and Easter and Sunday are commanded, demanded holidays, holy days of the Bible, anyone who follows false doctrine, false teachings. So I would have my eyes on anyone who say that they're Christian. Now, of course, we live in a nation that would totally disagree, but yet they use my book to try to find what they call the evidence. Anyway, I'm looking at the first part right here, and somebody went through the painstaking task to make a video, and it says this complete 32-page PDF full report can be found such a place. And it's talking about a Project Megiddo. And this is what it says. The Project Megiddo was a report search and written by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation under Director Louis Freeh. The report released on October 20th, 1999, named Followers Group, White Supremacist Group. Then it says, look at this: Aryan nations, Klux Klan, the Church of the Creator, the Christian identity churches, Odinism groups, the militia movement, the Black Hebrew Israelites, and they put that in big, bold, yellow letters. The nation of Yahweh, Islam, Jewish, and Christian militant fundamentalists who believe in violence to accomplish theological goals and objectives. Now, if you believe in violence to accomplish theological goals and objectives, then you will probably fit that bill. America believes in violence. And it is their theology, and it is their goal, and it is their objective. You don't believe in, look at all the warrantless wars that are waged all across this world. In the name of what? Justice? In the name of what? Liberty? In the name of what? I mean, I don't see no terrorists coming over here tearing up our country and stuff. And why do we have to go over and tear up their old homestead and kill people and call it collateral damage? But it is amazing to me that how you don't see the Church of Satan. You don't see any tree huggers. You don't see any groups who believe in opposite sex marriage. You don't see anybody who believes in all these different forms of Satanism and worship. You don't see the Freemasons on the list. You don't see the Council of Foreign Relations. You do not see the Bilderbergers, the Trilateral Commission. You don't see the Bohemian Grove. You don't see all these secret clubs and societies. It's amazing how you see all these groups, which, hey, I'm not a part of any of those groups. But you see all these groups on here, and yet and still, these are the ones that believe in violence to accomplish theological goals and objectives. Well, if you know me, I don't believe in goals. What they call, violence. I don't believe in violence to accomplish theological goals and objectives. As a matter of fact, one thing about Pastor Dow, I have a squeaky clean record. I'm a 10-year veteran in the United States Army, a paratrooper. Not only that, I have a squeaky clean record. Squeaky clean. I do not go out and promote violence, but I do promote self-preservation. Now, I do promote that. You don't see me going out, getting together, making rallies and forming up groups and stuff to say we need to go out and we need to take this and do this and do that and do this. No, but I do believe 100% that you need to preserve yourself and your family. Now, that I do believe. Now, it goes on to say, and let me stop this for a second because I want to be accurate in answering this question, because somewhere along the 7-minute mark, they say, Pastor Dollar's in there. Oh, man. Listen, folks, people can say whatever they want about anybody. They can say anything they want. They can make up anything they want, but does that mean it's true? Does that mean it's true? If I'm not worried about it, why should you be worried about it? Listen, we already just had the National Defense Authorization Act signed by President Barack Hussein Obama, where they can just by a stroke of a pen accuse anybody of anything and detain them without a lawful way of doing it. They don't need any law. So you see, we're dealing with what I call professional gangsters, and they've got people out there stirred up thinking that you need to fear someone like me who is telling you the truth. But they are not. They're not telling you the truth. Now, all of those groups, whoever they are, I don't understand. I don't believe in any of them because my group is not called the Black Hebrew Israelite. Matter of fact, I don't even see my group nowhere on here because my group would be called the Kingdom of the Most High. It would be called the House of Prayer. That's what it would be called because that's what Jesus said it was right there in the book. But I don't see my group nowhere anywhere. So let me stop this section for a second. Let's go on to the next one. I notice everything is speculation too, or any groups or apocalyptic cults, they says, who might become violent to the reaction of the new millennium. In other words, any change that the powers that be, would love to institute, and if you would resist it, they call you an apocalyptic cult. They call you a terrorist. They call you not with the program. Well, if you read the Bible, I guess you are a terrorist in their eyes, because it's from their perspective. But everybody I know, I don't see nobody that's planning on trying to go up and blow up anything and trying to kill nobody. But I do know this, though, from history, that our government has been more militant than any organization that I've seen on the face of planet Earth. I mean, it is off the chain amount of people who've all been murdered and killed by Americans. I mean, it really truly is something else. And mind you, I'm a veteran. Anyway, let's go on and see what else they have to say. Now, you can tell if you listen very closely, this is a very, very old report. We're talking about 12 years ago, 13 years ago. They're talking about people who believe that 2000 is the end of the world. Well, many of you didn't know me back in the year 2000, but back in the year 2000, I was telling people that this is not the end of the world, and this is not going to happen, and there ain't going to be no rapture of the church like many people thought, and Jesus was not coming back. And I had a lot of people make enemies with me simply because I made those statements, where here we are 12 years later, and the king has not come back. So I think all those other people that's been doing all this line as false prophets, as well as the people who have made this report right here, because all they're doing is making lies. You know, if you ever been in a courtroom and you watch these people, these hoaxsters, these jivers and these deceivers work their evil and their wickedness, it's remarkable. They can accuse somebody of something with no grounds of any evidence, unfounded evidence, just make up something, and then it's up to you to prove what these liars have said as an accusation. Is up to you to be able to prove it. Man, I ain't gonna say nothing, man. That's crazy to even answer it. It's almost kind of crazy even to spend time to answer this, but nevertheless, I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see what
The report's purpose was to warn other domestic law enforcement agencies to the potential for extremist criminal activity in the United States by individuals or domestic groups who attach special significance to the year 2000. The report also stated the threat posed by extremists as a result of perceived events associated with the year 2000 is very real. The volatile mix of apocalyptic religious and New World Order conspiracy theories may produce violent acts aimed at precipitating the end of the world as prophesied in the Bible.
In other words, if you believe in the Bible and stuff, then you are what you call a terrorist, an extreme terrorist with criminal activity in your mind. That's what they say your heart intent is. But, you know, since this is something that is geared towards the year 2000, and we're in 2012, all we need to do, because Jesus said, by their fruit you shall know them. All we need to do is just watch the footprint, the tracks, and the fruit, meaning their life, of seeing who this report actually, you know, who does it resemble? Because it says this report is for the purpose to warn other domestic law enforcement agencies of the potential of extremist criminal activity in the United States by individuals or domestic groups. Well, you got all the banks that would fit that bill. You got JP Morgan Chase definitely fits that bill. HSBC that fits that bill. Everybody that was involved in the collapse of 2008 definitely fits that bill. And I mean, we got financial terrorists in this country and stuff. And not only that, look at how many, all these cities, towns, and all these other centers that have all these people who have joined secret societies, who are throwing people in jail without due process of today. I mean, it seems like to me that they're talking about themselves, but what they're doing is they're playing reverse psychology and trying to get all the people to shift their minds towards people who are different than the norm. For instance, I live in a little small town, and I am the only black preacher in this town. And this town has made no apologies over the years how that I am not accepted. As a matter of fact, they even despise and hate me as a preacher in this town. Do you know the reason why? Because of this stuff right here. The color of my skin. And you know why else? Because I will not acquiesce to their religious dogma. I'm not about to preach nobody no Christmas tree and no big fat guy by the name of Santa Claus is going to give 6.5 billion presents to people all over the face of planet Earth. I'm not about to tell people that a rabbit lay eggs, and I'm not about to tell you that the Sabbath has been changed to Sunday, because every single one of them are lies, and it cannot be proven by the King James Version of the Bible. Now, will people go back and search out and see if what I said is so? No. But what they will do is call me a terrorist because I'm different than everybody else. I believe in living a quiet, separate, holy lifestyle. That's all. I don't believe in going out perpetuate evil and injustices, but if somebody try to come and perpetuate evil and injustice against me, they're going to have another thing coming. Anyway, I could be on this report all day. Let me finish this thing off, but let me just go to the part where they said that they saw my picture.
States the following. The reports section about its concerns regarding the nationalistic religious group known as the Black Hebrew Israelites states the following.
As the millennium approaches, radical fringe members of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement may pose a challenge for law enforcement. As with the adherents of most apocalyptic philosophies, certain segments of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement have the potential to engage in violence at the turn of the century. This movement has been associated with extreme acts of violence in the recent past, and current intelligence from a variety of sources indicates that extreme factions of Black Hebrew Israelite groups are preparing for a race war to close the millennium.
That's amazing because, you know, in the year 2000, Pastor Dow was still calling himself a Christian. As a matter of fact, well on up into 2005, even though I was moving far away from it and slowly and implementing, easing people into the real true faith of what the Bible says, the way. But you have never ever heard me refer to myself as a Black Hebrew Israelite. As a matter of fact, if you go to my website, straightwaytruth.com, you're going to be utterly surprised. Now, you know what's remarkable and amazing? I live in a redneck racist town. I mean, just straight up redneck and racist. Now, ask me if I care. That's their personal business. They can do what they want to. Free country, free world. All right. They can choose to say, hey, and I am slandered, defamed, have my character impugned, and all of this, of course, is done behind closed doors. They never ever do it out in the open. I've even ran ads in the paper challenging every single preacher, no matter what religion they are of, to an open civil discussion and debate. Do you think I got any takers? Not a one. And all people are invited. But you know what's amazing is is that I've never referred to myself as a black Hebrew Israelite. And if you go to my webpage and you look at the pictures, quite a numerous amount of pictures I have up there, you'll be surprised to see that even in the midst of a racist town, and I'm the only black preacher up here. As a matter of fact, you can probably count the black people up here that live in this town on both my hands right here. Well, you know what's remarkable and amazing? Is that I have more Caucasians and different nationalities that attend my services and listen to me worldwide than the majority of these churches have members up here. And that is remarkable and amazing. But anyway, so here's a report that is being done in 2000. I don't know how in the world they're going to forward it up till today and then include me in this, but I'm at the 5-minute mark right now. Once I get to the other part, I think I'm going to terminate this because I think this is just utter nonsense. But anyway, we'll go and see what it says. All right. So we'll move on to the next part of the video here in just a second.
Violent black Hebrew Israelite followers can generally be described as proponents of an extreme form of black supremacy, drawing upon the teachings of early black Hebrew Israelite adherents. Such groups hold that blacks represent God's true chosen people, while condemning whites as incarnate manifestations of evil.
Well, I'll tell you, that definitely ain't something that I preach and teach. As a matter of fact, now I do believe that I am Yah's chosen people. I do believe that. I believe that I'm an ancient descendant of the ancient Hebrew Israelites beyond a shadow of a doubt. But not only that, again, go back and look at my webpage and see all the different nationalities and people up there. You're going to see more Caucasians, more people of other nations than you're actually going to see black people. So you can tell that it's definitely not talking about me. Again, I like to see how I'm going to be fitting into this. And let me see, it says, and while condemning whites as incarnate manifestations of evil. Well, let's just look at the truth. Let's just look at a cold, hard truth right here. Who is perpetuating all the evils on the earth right now? And who is suffering more than anything on this earth right now? And who is doing all the murdering, the killing, and the genocide? Who is causing all the tyranny? Is it the black nations or the white nations? Now, I know that many people don't like straight talk like that, but do the math. Just deal with the facts and let's see what's going on. Let's see what the truth is. The European nations, man, they're murdering people left and right, and that includes America, in case you didn't know. But anyway, let's go on here for a second.
As God's authentic Jews, black Hebrew Israelite adherents believe that mainstream Jews are actually imposters.
Now, I do believe that. I believe that those people are imposters. Not only that, what's wrong with me calling myself an ancient descendant of the Hebrew Israelites when I can prove it by the King James Version of the Bible? Nobody ever says nothing when a white man gets up and explains about his glorious history, about where he comes from, and if he believes himself to be a descendant. If he believes himself to be a descendant, that's between him and the Father, between him and whoever else. It ain't gonna make me no difference, but hey, if we're gonna prove this thing in an open civil discussion and we're gonna call the Bible as the reference of truth, then somebody's telling the truth and somebody is lying. The problem I have today is I can't get none of these people. The Messianics who practice collusion, who believe that they are Yah's chosen people. The so-called Jews of today who believe that they're Yah's chosen people. And their so-called prophets, priests, rabbis, or whatever you want to call them. Or all these Christians who believe that they are God's chosen. Or America. Christianity who believe that God's chosen. I can't get any of these so-called preachers, teachers, theological seminary professors to debate me on this subject in an open civil discussion. And let's just use only the King James Version as the truth. And let's see what happened. But like I said, can't get nobody to do it. Let's get to this 7-minute mark. Let me just go ahead and forward.
To the Christian identity church theology practiced by many white supremacists. In fact, Tom Webster, a renowned white supremacist, once remarked,
"They're the black counterpart of us."
Like their Christian identity church counterparts, militant black Hebrew Israelite followers tend to see themselves as divinely endowed by God with superior status.
You know what is amazing is this music. You pay attention to this background music. It's captivating. The music is just like, wow, man. That's the type of music to get people all. Oh Oh boy, I tell you, man, Hollywood ain't got nothing on these folks right here. Somebody done put this together. They did a pretty good job. You know, pretty good job putting this together anyway.
As a result, some followers of this belief system hold that violence, including murder, is justifiable in the eyes of God, provided that it helps to rid the world of evil.
I tell you what, boy, America sure does follow that doctrine. They believe in murder, and they believe it's justifiable in the eyes of God, and they all do it in the name of God, don't they? Man, I tell you, to rid the world of evil. Woo! Man.
Violent black people.
But you know, this is amazing that if this is a Project Megiddo and stuff, and you got all these Aryan nations and all these other white supremacist groups, why is this thing so dominated? And why is this thing so centered? And the attention and the focus is only put on so-called black Hebrew Israelites only. Y'all be surprised to know that I do not know one leader of the black Hebrew Israelite movement. I don't know one. Never even met them. I mean, but it's amazing how that this thing is centered only on those. And we haven't heard anything about all the white supremacy group yet. I think the truth is there's a racist who put this together. That's the truth. Let's see what's going on.
The Israelite groups are of particular concern as the millennium approaches, because they believe in the inevitability of a race war between blacks and whites.
I tell you what, you're a fool if you believe in a race war between blacks and whites. I'm going to tell you what this is. It's going to be a war, all right? It's going to be a war between righteous and unrighteous, between good and evil. And that's just the truth. And it is coming down. It's coming down to that, though.
Extreme elements of the black Hebrew Israelite movement are prone to engage in violent activity. As seen in previous convictions of black Hebrew Israelite followers, adherents of this philosophy have a proven history of violence, and several indications point toward a continuation of this trend.
Now it says, and we're getting close to the part where they said that I appear in here, it said have a proven history of violence. Well, first of all, Pastor Dow don't have a proven history of violence. Matter of fact, nobody on our community has a proven history of violence. It's remarkable and amazing.
Some black Hebrew Israelite followers have been observed in public, donning primarily black clothing, with emblems and or patches bearing the Star of David symbol.
Now, if you know me, I definitely preach against that satanic star, because that is not the Star of David. That is a satanic star, rimfram, and I know most people going to hate it and they ain't going to like it. Pastor Dowd has been doing, I've been preaching and teaching over 20-some years. I ain't no Johnny come lately, just started this thing last night. Hallelujah. Anyway.
Some black Hebrew Israelite members practice paramilitary operations.
That's where I am. Now, I am holding an AR-15, and I'm actually answering a guy who called my AR-15 an airsoft gun. And so, look at this. I got to let you see it first, though. You got to see it. You got to see it. Look, look, look. Some members practice paramilitary. You see me? See me? Look at me right there. Woo, boy, Lord Jesus. Look at this now. That's Pastor Dow, with my fake AR-15. If you go back in my archives, you'll see my video where I'm answering the guy who called me. He said I was a fake and a phony. But then later on, he turned around and he repented. He sure did. He repented for making those remarks and those comments against me about this video. But here I am in the midst of this. Now, mind you, the time frame of this supposed to be, this report is the year 1999, talking about the year 2000 coming into play. And then, watch this, When I made that video, it was sometime either in 2011, maybe 2010. Now, that's 10 years later. Now, given the time frame of all the things that he's so-called putting together on this, how'd I end up in this thing? Anyway, let's go on some more.
And wear Webb belts and shoulder holsters. Some adherents have extensive criminal records for a variety of violations, including weapons charges, assault, drug trafficking, and fraud.
Well, I guess that's pretty much the end of the video for me right there, because, you know, I don't have a criminal record at all for nothing. No weapons charges, no drug charges, no. You know why? Because even though I know that I live in America, I am a law-abiding citizen, whether people like it or not. Now, my only crime is this in this country, is that I tell the truth and people don't like what I'm saying. As a matter of fact, they love darkness and lies than they do the light. And that's the reason why people fight against me. Not because I'm saying anything wrong. They may not like my delivery. They may not like how I say certain things. But the one thing that I am is brutally honest. Jesus said it like this in Luke 6:26. He says, "Woe unto you when men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets." So I'm not worried about people reaping great accolades or words of wonder and kind upon me. As a matter of fact, if I did allow that and people did do that, I got to be living something. I got to be living something truthful. Because if I believe in an alternative lifestyle, if I believed in sun worship, if I believe in worshiping the devil, if I believe in going to church on pagan Christianity, Sun God Sunday, then the world would love me. They would love me. If I eat swine, the world would love me. But because I preach and teach against all that stuff, using the King James Version of the Bible, therefore the world, I guess they chose me to be their enemy. It make no big deal to me because they made the Messiah the enemy too. Anyway, hey, brothers and sisters, use a little bit of intelligence. Don't fall for everything that people are doing nowadays and stuff. Come on, wake up. And that's the truth, and that's the truth straight way.